29-year-old Tyre Nichols was pulled over in Memphis for a traffic stop, beaten severely by 6 officers, and within a few days he'd passed away due to the severe beating that he got. Arrested by 6 officers, and 5 of them have been now arrested themselves on suspicion of murder. And I mentioned Black Lives Matter because it's a black man who's been killed yet again, and black men are disproportionately killed at the hands of the police. Joe Biden spoke out about this, and he's mentioned black and brown men, or black and brown people. I don't know why he's bringing brown into it. I thought Black Lives Matter was about black people. Maybe are brown people also disproportionately killed at the hands of the police? He seems to think that black and brown people fear for their lives in case they are killed by the police. It's a bit of a difficult one. And what does it mean to be brown? Brown in the UK suggests an Asian origin. I'm guessing brown people in America would include Hispanic people, Latino people, maybe some Asians as well. Are we saying black and brown? Is that anyone who's not white? What about East Asians? I don't think they count as brown, do they? Not sure. We'll have to ask Joe Biden what he means by that. And is race a factor? A lot of people are leaping on the fact that the 5 officers arrested for the suspected murder are all black. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not still part of the police. If the police force is institutionally racist or biased against black people, that will filter through to officers, whether they are black, white, brown, or whatever. So I don't think we can immediately say, well, this is not a Black Lives Matter issue because the officers that did it were black. Black Lives Matter was never about the colour of the officer, was it? It's about the colour of the victim. And another black man has been brutally treated and murdered, possibly, if they're found guilty, by the police. So it shouldn't really matter the race of the officers if race is an issue about why the guy's been killed, or why he's been arrested, or why he's been dealt with the way that he was. Is there a racist mentality in the police, and this is the Memphis police in this case, that means a young black man will be treated differently from a young white man, or presumed to be guilty of something more so than a white counterpart? Is there an issue of self-hating racism? Is there an issue of perhaps some of us treat our own kind more harshly? I've even heard that some white officers, not wanting to end up the next white officer on the front cover that's killed another black man, have been more careful now because of the publicity, because of the protests, to not wind up being another killer from among the cops. Is there an argument that some black officers might not be so worried about killing one of their own, so-called, and therefore are being more heavy-handed against their own black people when they're policing them? That's still a race issue. Whether that's white people discriminating against black people, or black people within an institution such as the police discriminating against black people, that's still a race issue. That's still a issue for Black Lives Matter. Is the way the story is being treated by the media a racist issue? Would this be dealt with differently? Have the officers themselves been treated differently, the black officers this time who have killed a young man? Notice that they're all arrested already. Not a week later we go back and find him and, oh yeah, were you involved? Okay, we'll arrest you. Straight away, they have all been arrested. Maybe justice will be swifter this time. Is that to do with their colour? I'm not sure. But let's not lose sight of the human story here and the fact that a 29-year-old, a young man with his life ahead of him, he's a father, I believe he had a young child, and he's dead from being pulled over in a car during a traffic stop. Whatever it is, it's not right.